YouTube, greetings, it's the Groggy Trucker. And tonight, I fucked up. I mean, let's turn that down a little bit so you don't have any noise pollution. I fucked up. I mean, I really fucked up. Like, fucked up to the point where I could possibly get in legal trouble. Yeah, it's a long stretch, right? But so here it goes. I am going to Smyrna, Tennessee. I'm not sure where in Tennessee that is, but that's where I'm going. And because I'm a super trucker, I decided to even though my delivery appointment is anytime tomorrow, like literally anytime on the 30th, from 0001 to 2399 on the 30th. Anytime tomorrow. But me being a super trucker, I decided to tell Swift that I'm going to be there at 1 p.m. tomorrow. I'm thinking I've got more than enough time. I want to get within 300 miles of my destination. Wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning. I'll be there at 1. But, you know, I can do that. What I didn't account for is the fact that there's no fucking where to park anywhere near Atlanta, Georgia. I'm a little north of Atlanta on I-75 now. No fucking parking whatsoever. I should have gone to the terminal. I realize this now. In hindsight 2020, you know, I should have gone to the terminal. But I didn't. I decided to press on. There is a rest area about 30 miles ahead of where I'm parked. I'm on an on-ramp, which is how I could possibly be in legal trouble, because sometimes cops are dicks and they're like, I don't give a fuck, get out of here. Other times they're like, cool, you know, you ran out of hours, you're not in the way, you know, you're light. I've got my truck running so that my lights stay on so people won't run into me. Okay? It's not legal, but it's the best I could do in a bad situation. I just came out of the first truck stop outside of Atlanta, a Love's, and of course there's, I hope I didn't break that. Of course there's no parking. No parking whatsoever at that Love's. This goes back to the parking issues that I was talking about a couple days ago. 3 million trucks, 1.75 million parking spaces. That means 1.25 million trucks have to fucking park on the shoulder, jamming up fucking rest areas, both sides. What I'm doing, parking on on-ramps, crowding up every single fucking truck stop. Even the paid parking spaces are full, and those fuckers are $15 a night. Yeah, 15 fucking bucks a night. They're full. There needs to be more parking places for truckers. This is the long and the short of it. Now there are places like fucking Davenport, Iowa. 2 pilots, a fucking Flying J, and the world's largest fucking truck stop with over 800 parking spaces. Outside Davenport, Iowa. Not that fucking many people go to Davenport, Iowa. Right? But Atlanta, Georgia, one of the biggest fucking cities in the country, oh, we can't have any fucking truck parking there. No! So anyways, I've talked to you guys before about how many hours everybody can drive. 11 hours of driving within 14 hours from the time you go on duty. I have 15 minutes left of my 11-hour clock, and I had, when I parked, 12 minutes left of my 14-hour clock, because I fucked up. Pulled out of Arcadia, Florida this morning, and I decided to go to a Flying J. I went about 150 miles and went to a Flying J. Maybe a little bit more. It took me 2.5, almost 3 hours to get there. No, it was less than 3 hours. 2:45, something like that. Stopped at a Flying J. I did some shopping. You know, I told you about my inverter. You can see my computer running. I'm going to do a little bit of mech battling before I go to sleep. So I got that inverter. I got some breakfast because I had slept the night before in a Walmart distribution center, which is not a Walmart. There's nothing you can buy there except cans of soda for $1 a pop. And no diet soda. So I stopped there for what ended up being a little over half an hour. And it wouldn't have been so long except I had to call the dispatcher and say, hey, why haven't I been dispatched on this next load yet? You know, I'm empty, I've got a trailer, I'm rolling towards the fucking pickup point, but y'all haven't dispatched me. Well, apparently they didn't realize that I'd gotten a trailer. I don't know if my message didn't get through or what. So I talked to the guy, he sent me the dispatch, and when I got the dispatch I said, fuck. Because 32 miles up the road from where I'd stopped, I had to stop and fuel. Okay, so already here's a second stop that I didn't need. In whatever. So I go up the road a little bit, I fuel, I go on to Georgia. Crap, I can't remember the name of the town. It's exit 13 off of Highway 75, or Interstate 75 in Georgia. That place, it was a Lowe's regional distribution something or other. I don't know. It was a huge place. They have very specifically assigned parking spaces for inbound empties and outbound loaded. Okay, which is fine. It's actually a really good idea. You know, that you tell somebody you park here. And you drop your empty off in this space, this exact space, and you pick up your loaded trailer from this exact space. Which means we don't have to wander around and fucking find a place to park and, you know, look for a fucking hole to drop it in, look for the fucking trailer we're picking. No. You go to the spot you drop, you go to the spot and you pick up. Except they told me to drop my trailer in 1338, and there was already a fucking trailer in 1338 because somebody fucked up. So what did I do? I dropped my trailer in 1342, and I told them about it. I said, my trailer isn't in 1338 because somebody else's trailer is there. I'm in 1342. 10 minutes of bullshit later, I got to leave with my loaded trailer that they had said was 45,000 pounds, turned out to be 18.5, so it's not even that heavy a load. I told George that this morning. I'm like, yeah, I'm rolling on 18.5 today. How about you? He's like, God damn. The thing about George, he runs reefer, and he always runs really heavy. I mean, they're always loading him up 35,000 or more pounds. Hold on. I haven't had anything to drink in a couple hours. I'm still thirsty. Because I fucking didn't plan on Georgia, or Atlanta rather. So I pick up, well, that's all on duty. And if I'd been smart, I probably would have logged that as off duty. But I didn't. So I pick up, and I had like 4 hours left on an 8-hour clock and 5 hours left to driving for the day. So I go on a little further, park outside of Macon, I remember this because going through my head the entire time I'm going through Macon, I'm like, if I get stopped by the cops, will they be making bacon? It's retarded, but it amused the hell out of me the entire way through Macon. I stopped, took another 30 because I had to get all my hours for the day. You know, I'm still wanting to get within 300 miles of my drop so that when I wake up at 7, that's a maximum of 6 hours. Boom, there. 300 miles isn't really 6 hours. It's like, what, 2, 4, 5 hours? You plan your loads at 50 miles an hour, but you drive 62, so a little less than 5 hours. So I get within 300 miles. I still have 2 hours, but I'm in the outskirts of Atlanta and there's nowhere to fucking park. Not a single fucking place. I am going through Atlanta. I got stopped by traffic a lot. Massive amounts of traffic. Cost me an hour because the place I was planning on stopping, the rest area I was planning on stopping at for the night, even if I spilled out onto the, you know, exit or entrance ramps, whatever, the rest area I was planning on stopping at is still an hour ahead of me. So I drove and drove and drove. The first truck stop outside of Atlanta, the Loves that I was just at, is where I ended up stopping. And like I said, when I got there, I had 15 minutes of drive time and 30 minutes on my 14-hour clock. By the time I drove through that fucking parking place, found out that there's not a single goddamn place to park, not even the paid parking. Stopped, used the bathroom, got something to drink, because, well, I like to keep at least water in the truck, and I didn't have that. I didn't have any Diet Dr. Pepper, nothing. So, pulled out of there, pulled onto the on-ramp, back onto I-75, stopped, set my truck up so that it wouldn't shut down, left the lights on, not the headlights, just the marker lights, and said, fuck it, I gotta stop here. So yeah, I fucked up. Inexperience based with poor positioning, based with, you know, plus, I get, not based, but inexperience plus poor positioning plus they didn't dispatch me right, so I didn't realize where I was stopping for fuel was right next to where I stopped for a 30-minute break early on because I wanted to do some shopping, which is, there were a lot of mistakes, and it ended up me fucking up. It's all my fault. I'm not going to try to say it's anybody else's fault. It's all my fault. I'm the driver. I make the decisions. I don't have to, you know, do anything I don't want to do. Speaking of, I found out today that I do not have to follow the idiot Qualcomm to the letter. I am not a slave to that idiot box. I can choose to redirect myself in a faster path as long as it's truck legal. I asked the Gary terminal today, when I asked them to dispatch me on this load, they had pre-planned me on the load, they hadn't dispatched me yet. There's a difference between the two. But when I asked them to do that, I also said, you know, how slavishly do I have to follow that idiot Qualcomm that likes to take you through 35 mile an hour, 30 stoplights through the center of fucking town when you can get on an internet, you know, or interstate loop and go around the fucking town. Might be a couple miles longer. He's like, well, the Qualcomm uses the fuel route, but yeah, if you know a faster way and it's truck legal, you can go ahead and take that. So, yay. Anyways, shit, this video is almost 15 minutes long. I'm going to stop it now. I'm going to blow up some big stompy robots. Love you guys. I'll talk to you later.